Good morning and Assalamu alaikum everyone. We are going to officially kickstart our conference here today. Thanks to the Alberta APPNA chapter who has kindly hosted the event. As we go on to begin our CME session, on behalf of the Conference Planning Committee, I and Dr. Rana would want to let you know that this is a 2-day, very informative, educational, social networking, and entertainment opportunity for physicians, especially Pakistani physicians in Canada.
So I'm just going to go over some of the names of our supporters and exhibitors because without them, this event wouldn't have been possible.
It's the first big meeting. Those of you who have worked hard, you know it. I don't want to repeat what you've said. It's a truly amazing effort. And hours of work has gone into it. The CME program is outstanding. The evening sessions you would enjoy.
I would like to thank our chair, conference chair, Dr. Shfaq Shoaib, planning committee lead, Dr. Yasmin Majid, CME committee members, Dr. Barbara Rana, Dr. Mubin Rafe, Dr. Samina Bajwa, Dr. Najma Jamil, and all other members of host committee and board of directors of APPNA Alberta chapter. We have exceptional speakers over 2 days, and I'm hoping that we are going to gain valuable knowledge over the next 2 days that will make us a better physician, will provide a better patient experience and make some difference to their life.
Organization, enduring leadership demands institutional or an organizational basis. An organization will never function above its leadership. If you want to determine the impact of an organization, that's not the organization that will determine the impact, it's the leadership that will determine that. A leader has to embody. It is a stroke of genius when stories and embodiments appear to overlap.
So as you're all aware, migraine is a huge global problem. Estimates are that roughly 1 billion people in the world suffer from migraine. The global disease, burden of disease study that was published in The Lancet a few years ago had migraine listed as the second most disabling condition worldwide. So if you're thinking of something that, makes you need to lie down, rest in a dark room, that's a very classic picture of migraine as opposed to tension where they actually will get better with physical activity. So we obviously understand quite a bit more than we used to in regards to migraine pathophysiology. It's a very complex interplay between neurogenic factors as well as vascular changes, which are more downstream effects. It's all related to the trigeminal vascular system, essentially.
I'm going to go ahead and start my lecture on inflammatory arthritis. Now that title is a little bit misleading, so I apologize for that. My main concern is for folks to be able to differentiate between auto-inflammatory joint disorders versus the wear and tear and infectious and other joint conditions. As I said, it's a huge topic. So there are more than 200 conditions which can affect the musculoskeletal systems. Not only they affect the musculoskeletal system, they can also cause internal organ involvement. So it's not as simple as the joint hurting. They can affect any age, so kids can have these diseases as well as adults. And they cause significant morbidity and mortality because, it's not easy to live with pain. If you have a joint pain, that simplest conditions become very, very difficult. I think anybody who has that pain anywhere realizes that when you have pain, even if a little finger is hurting, all you can think of is that. You kind of pretty much lose interest in most other things. And living with pain in all the joints is very difficult.
Very big topic, very, very big topic to talk about chronic neuropathic pain in women and then go through all of the processes to make sure that I hope, inshallah, a woman will benefit from the knowledge that you will gain from this lecture. So it's been postulated that the pelvic structures, the somatic structures, the visceral organs, when they become diseased, that they are a source for why we have neuropathic pain in women.
Now, I would like to invite all the presenters to the stage for question and answer session. If a woman has migraine headaches and she's breastfeeding, what would be the best medication to use in them?
Yeah, it's a great question. It comes up quite often. So obviously it depends on circumstances, how bad are their headaches, what are their acceptable risks based on how much headache they're having and the disability from their headaches.
Just so that in case I can just repeat back the comment and I guess the question is that you can only do so much with nerve blocks, you can only do so much with medications, and they're in chronic pain. How do you then get the holistic approach knowing that there's this nociplastic component, knowing the nociceptive and neuropathic pain? And I think that's where the challenge is that, alhamdulillah, my vision that I had was that we needed to have psychological repair from the get-go.
मैं आपको बताऊं, आपकी बात बिल्कुल दुरुस्त है. मैंने ये पाकिस्तान में टॉक दी, मैं 3 इंस्टीट्यूशन में दी और मैं आपको नहीं बताऊंगा नाम क्या. हर साल मैं जाता हूँ पूरा महीना. आगा खान से लेके तो मैं पिंडी और पेम्स शिफा सब जगह लेक्चर देता हूँ. आपके सवाल पे आई वुड लाइक टू रिस्पॉन्ड. अल्लामा इकबाल ने कहा था खुद ही न बेच गरीबी में नाम पैदा कर. तो हम लोग जो हैं वो गरीबी में नाम पैदा करने के बजाय खुद ही बेच रहे हैं. दैट्स द आयरनी, दैट्स द डिफिकल्टी.
Why people, especially who are blessed to live in Calgary or Alberta at large, have more migraines, and why some people are affected more than others?
Now, the weather is probably the biggest factor as to why we get more migraines. And it's not, there have been Canada-wide studies, and we're not so different from the rest of the country. But you probably think you see it more, and we have more fluctuations because of the weather, because we know that atmospheric pressure is a common trigger for migraines.
Regarding interstitial cystitis in women, is there any role of this, any intervention or?
Yes, that's actually a really great question. The hypogastric blocks, so the superior hypogastric block, a plexus block, at the sympathetic level will help with interstitial bladder pain. The DRG stimulation is probably the gold standard for being able to treat that. There's a really interesting paper that I've researched, and you can find it, it describes everything.
I can do both, but this is a Thank you so much for visiting the exhibitors that have and supported them. So with that, we have the later half of the session starting.
Because that's an important part that really sets us up for how we manage obesity in Canada. And as well as we'll talk about the medical weight management and surgical weight management options.
Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is a rising epidemic and is a major public health problem worldwide. It affects approximately 25% of the population. So we are talking about, among us even, that 1 in 4 have fatty liver.
Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamidah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. I would repeat it, what I've said 100 times in small committees, that I personally think that APPNA is the best organization and forum for us, and we need to build it in Canada, so we are a bloc in Canada.
I want to first of all thank the Alberta chapter President Dr. Saad Yassin, President-elect Sumaira Bajwa, Secretary Amir Aslam, Treasurer Tamina Munaf, immediate past President Tariq Awan, and 2 directors, Dr. Abdul Kamran and Hatim Karachiwala. And special thanks to Dr. Ishfaq Shoaib, Conference Chair, Dr. Yasmin Majid, Planning Committee Lead, Mubin Rafe, CME Lead, Barbara Rana, Social Committee Lead, Najma Jamil, President, Saskatchewan Chapter, and Abdul Kamran, Finance Committee Lead, and Khurshid Khan, Award Committee Lead. APPNA is now 45 years old. The time when it started from a basement, in a basement of a couple of physicians, and over a period of time, it has grown. And this year, our membership is 3,200 paid memberships. There are about 2,400 lifetime members, and rest are annual member. Over a period of time, years, depending upon where the summer meetings are, we have a database of over 6,500 to 7,000 people who have been member of APPNA one time or the other.
So this is what we are here for, changing the paradigm. Or physicians of Pakistani descent, whether they are in Canada, whether they are in the US, I think APPNA is the past, APPNA is the present, and inshallah ta'ala APPNA is the future. So when I took over as the president-elect Central APPNA ka in 2020, Haroon and I won the elections at the same time, and we were in that meeting. We got all the stakeholders together. Detail Haroon ne bata di hai, but there were a lot of challenges. Dekhen ji, we are in APPNA, we are not perfect. हमारे हैं issues जिस तरह के any other Pakistani organization. We bring a lot of Pakistan with us to wherever we go. So there are certain issues in Central APPNA, and there were a lot of challenges when we took over. But Alhamdulillah, we were able to face and bring out APPNA's ship from all those challenges. So APPNA is at that level, we are at that level that we want we should be together and make it even more successful. और बहुत से लोग, हारून ने शुरू में बात बताई कि भाई इस तरह अकेले निकले थे, फिर लोग मिलते रहे और कारवान जो है वो बढ़ता रहा और हम बढ़ेंगे और and this is where we want Canadian physicians, US physicians was the past and present. Canadian physicians are the future of APPNA because there is so much untapped membership in Canadian provinces that I think it is high time that we make much more chapters in Canada.
I represent Saskatchewan, and the beginning started, it started with the APPNA, and they wanted another chapter here, and I think it was not more than 16, 17 months ago that Dr. Ashfaq said, let's go back to, start something with APPNA. I said, no, APPNA has too many problems, I don't want to go there. But he convinced me, and then the rest of the steps were taken by Rizwan, Khalid. I tell you, I feel that when I made the chapter, I discovered I had a treasure in my province. MashaAllah, we have such talented people. I myself, my background was, I had moved from Edmonton after I had 5 kids. My youngest was on 2, and I moved to Saskatoon in 1993. But I've loved it ever since.
APPNA in Canada, although we know, as again, with Dr. Rizwan, Khalid, President Haroon, they have mentioned about the history of APPNA, and it has been very active in APPNA for over 40 years. But in Canada, we have 3 chapters, as you can see. Ontario was founded in 2009, but the real drive of APPNA actually started in Calgary, Alberta, and leading to this amazing conference. And we, together, thanking to our founding board of directors, our membership, our community, and also to mention the involvement of our 3 other Western Canadian provinces, that together we brought up this conference, and here we are. So when we wanted to make APPNA Alberta chapter, why did we wanted it? Because there was no collective forum of Pakistani descent physicians in Alberta. And we wanted to take a model, and that model we thought is APPNA because it's a successful democratic model. APPNA has been through 40 years of history with up and down crises. It's not a perfect, there is crisis, but because of its democratic model, and that's the reason I really wanted to join this organization's board, because there's opportunities for all, and this make it very successful, and that's why this organization is so strong today and standing, and inshallah it will be more. Also, to mention that it's tried and tested model, which is active in effective in Canada as well. An example is from the Western Canadian, all the drive with Dr. Ashfaq and us, and together with all our team. You have seen the name of all the planning committee and all the other members who have participated. So we have really did it together as a team. The idea of APPNA is not new, and we had a meeting in 2005. However, it was not capitalized due to lack of physicians. And down the road, there was an oil and gas boom in Alberta. Then was an influx of Pakistani decent physicians, and the idea resurfaced in my mind. And then Dr. Hussain Bawa, late Hussam Bawa, you see his picture up there. He was the first person I spoke with him, And we went on campaigning, and he was the force and VN behind the APPNA Alberta chapter, and we have a 98% response from our colleagues to create a chapter. Now, at this Western Canadian conference, the foundation has been laid. And our first and foremost goal of the society is to bring all Pakistani decent physicians under APPNA banner. And I think we all will agree that unity is what we need. If we go more division, we will get all of us weaker and weaker. So I think if we empower our youth, if we bring strong advocacy, we have talent, we have resources, and we can work in the best interest of Pakistani Canadian physicians under APPNA banner. Thank you so much.
So, as I said early in the morning, that the goal is much beyond just the operational stuff. And I think, as Dr. Khalid said, that if you have a strong organization, it makes it easy to realize your goals and objectives. And I think this is a platform of Pakistani physicians to come together and to achieve much more than just the CMEs and the networking get together, which is very important because that's the only way we come to know each other. So I'm going to open the floor for questions and suggestions. So anyone?
So when we started almost a year and a half ago, and when I personally got involved, so Omar was talking about 60. I turned 65 last year. So I took my lifetime membership in APPNA at 65. People would say, well, doesn't make any sense. Why would you do it? It was for a point. That I wanted to make sure people understood that I'm very committed to APPNA. I mean, we had started very clearly in Barbara and Mubin and Najma that we had started with an APPNA concept it was Western Canada, and we had used APPNA Alberta as a place to start because it existed.
हमारी पिछले साल बेतहाशा जूम मीटिंग्स हुई थी जिसमें हमने मैनिटोबा के फिजिशियन से भी बात की थी, हमने ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया के भी फिजिशियन से बात की थी और हमने यही कहा था कि कोई भी ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया जो बी कैप है या जो ये मैनिटोबा फिजिशियंस को ख़त्म कोई नहीं करना चाह रहा. दैट वाज नेवर द इंटेंशन. अपना में ये एक बड़ा यूनिक है कि हम वी कैन गिव यू एज मच ऑटोनॉमी एज यू वांट एज लॉन्ग एज यू आर पार्ट अ चैप्टर. उसकी जो बेसिक रिक्वायरमेंट्स होती हैं, अगर आपके 25 या 30 मेंबर्स हैं, अब सेंट्रल अपना के आपका चैप्टर बन सकता है. यू कैन हैव योर ओन केबल एज लॉन्ग एज कोई मेजर चीज़ हमारे केबल के ख़िलाफ़ नहीं है. आप ऑटोनॉमी जो है, अब आपके अल्बर्टा चैप्टर के 7 बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स हैं, हमारे 9 हैं, बट इट्स नॉट अ मेजर डिफरेंस. इट्स फाइन कि आप ये कर सकते हैं. सो यू आर गिवन अ लॉट ऑफ ऑटोनॉमी even within APPNA.
I have very positive comments. Number one, congratulations to everybody. This is our first ever Pakistani-Canadian meeting in Canada since we have been here. Number two, each one of us is a good carpenter and a very good gardener, I'm sure. Each one of us. That can come from our families, you can look at that and be proud of that self. And now we have a solution. Inshallah, the next APPNA meeting will do exactly what Haroon Durrani is saying. We will let them arrange everything and have the next meeting here so that the central APPNA and the Canadian APPNA, they become one big family and they rise, like the way he said, to hit the Himalayas.
We need to really understand that this kind of activity, what we are seeing in Western Canada, first time ever in last 2 years, it never happened before. And how it has happened and the response we have and how the chapter and it has done with all the presentation was asked to be minimized, otherwise I would given you more, but we have all the details on the website and Facebook. If you see, we have done it as Pakistani decent physician. And I think APPNA Center is acknowledging it. I will share my experience. In 2 years, I have learned so much from them. I have learned from APPNA Center. Like I mentioned about Dr. Musharana, our other leadership is here, and many leaders, we know how many committees they have, and they are always helpful, they are always giving. I think we need to move forward in terms of that, because it's new, because it's never been. So just taking a role model from APPNA Alberta, it can be built on that.
I just want to make a comment that, this initiative led by Dr. Ashfaq Shoaib has come from the APPNA Alberta chapter. It is a chapter initiative. Yes, the whole idea was to bring more membership and more chapters, if I am correct. If something else is there, then of course, I'm unclear, and maybe there is some, disagreement or miscommunications. But chapter has been involved. We've always been inclusive. Dr. Babra Rana is here, Dr. Khosa is there, and Dr. Mubin Rafi is there as a planning committee. It's an example of inclusiveness. If an organization member belongs to a Pakistani group, doesn't want to be involved in that, I think we tried our best. Dr. Ashfaq has really tried best for that. As I said, if we can resolve those issues moving forward, we can achieve what we want to go. The goal is the same.
So let's go with good sort of feeling that mashallah is a good, exciting group here. And then we are coming back tomorrow with some, I think, strategic planning we should be doing. For example, I just want to summarize today, it was discussed that we should talk about financial, strategy. Educational was discussed, and within the context of next America, I don't know what I wrote here. Anyway, then there was a suggestion that younger new fresh graduates should be given free. I'm just leaving it for you so that you can think about it. And also, one of the, I think, the contentious point here was, how do we work with other organizations who are of also Pakistani origin, and how can we bring them under one umbrella? So this is few points that we should remember. Otherwise, it will be difficult. So we need to hone on certain points, and we'll have, inshallah, a very exciting and enthusiastic and galvanizing discussion tomorrow. All right? So enjoy the evening.
इसका सब कुछ वही है जो एक आम कैमरे को.
Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Assalamu alaikum and good evening. I am Dr. Amir Aslam.
And I'm Dr. Ayman Adnan.
We are indeed honored to be hosting this wonderful evening tonight. On behalf of APPNA Alberta chapter, we welcome you all to APPNA Western Canada Conference evening program, hosted by APPNA Alberta chapter. Before starting the program, we would like to first acknowledge our esteemed guests' presence in this evening. We are honored to be joined by the President of APPNA, Dr. Haroon Durrani, APPNA immediate past President, Dr. Rizwan Khalid, APPNA ex-President, Dr. Mubashir Rana, and eminent members of APPNA leadership.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الله يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده ثم إليه ترجعون ويوم تقوم الساعة يبلس المجرمون. And now the translation. It is Allah who originates the creation and will resurrect it, and then to Him you will all be returned. On the day the hour will arrive, the wicked will be dumbstruck. There will be no intercessors for them from among their associate gods, and they will deny their associate gods.
To begin the program formally, I would request Dr. Ashfaq Shoaib to grace the stage. However, just a brief introduction of him prior to that.
You know, we've had a beautiful day. It's one of the nicest cities in Canada, and you've already welcomed our esteemed guests. We're very, very happy to have you here with us, and all our friends. We've had a beautiful CME this morning. We had a lively discussion in the afternoon. Lively, healthy discussion. And we're looking forward to a very nice evening together. So enjoy yourself and have a good time, and thank you everyone who've made this event possible.
Now it is my pleasure to introduce our next guest, Dr. Saad Yassin, who is the first elected president of APPNA Alberta chapter.
I really like to thank everyone in this room who is able to make it today. Among us, we have special guests, esteemed members of the Executive Committee of Central APPNA, President Dr. Haroon Durrani, immediate past President Dr. Rizwan Khalid, General Secretary Mr. Asif Muhyiddin, and other distinguished members of APPNA leadership, including Dr. Mubashir Rana and Naeem Rana, etc. I also would like to thank the conference team who has worked so hard and spent countless hours to make this event possible. This is the first time in the history of Western Canada that a group of Pakistani physicians are gathered in the beautiful place in Banff. APPNA Alberta chapter over the last 3 years have been continuously striving to become a premier organization of the physicians of Pakistani descent in Alberta, one which best serves the healthcare, social, and charitable initiatives. And I would like to thank Dr. Durrani and Dr. Rizwan for their support over the last 3 years. So without any further delay, please enjoy the evening. Thank you very much.
Now, may I ask Dr. Tariq Awan, founding and immediate past president of APPNA Alberta chapter, to announce the invaluable services to APPNA Recognition Award on behalf of APPNA Alberta chapter to our distinguished guest for extraordinary services to APPNA.
With immense pleasure and great honor, I introduced Dr. Rizwan Khalid, immediate past president APPNA. Dr. Rizwan Khalid played a pivotal role in APPNA Western Canada Drive, hosted by APPNA Alberta chapter, additionally facilitating APPNA Saskatchewan chapter. He was always available to help us and guide, even on very short notices.
I'm so proud of APPNA Alberta chapter's meeting that they have done, hosted the Western Canadian retreat. APPNA Alberta chapter spring 2019 May was approved by the council. Within 3 short years to reach this level is unprecedented in APPNA's history.
It is my honor to introduce you to the next recipient. He is none other than Central APPNA President Dr. Haroon Durrani.
Thank you, Dr. Saad. So APPNA does a tremendous job. And I think in today's age, it is the number of the members which counts. And I would request all of you to please become member of APPNA. And unity is something which we very badly need. And let me tell you, APPNA is there to stay, and APPNA will progress with the help of all of you. Thank you very much.
Now, with much honor, it is my pleasure to introduce the Mayor of Banff, Corey DeMano.
But I just want to welcome you to beautiful Banff in Banff National Park. We are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Show of hands, who has been here before? Okay, oh wow, okay, quite a few of you. Welcome back, and welcome to the folks that are here for the first times. And it's especially rewarding to see physicians and healthcare professionals such as yourselves taking time to recharge and relax and renew. I know you need it. I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for all that you have done and for persevering through the pandemic. I hope that you can find time to stroll through our beautiful Banff Avenue pedestrian zone, as well as our pedestrian street, Bear Street. Perhaps you can take a venture over our pedestrian bridge down to Bow Falls. I'm just a tour guide now. And if you happen to come back in a few weeks, we're going to have a brand new pedestrian bridge as well that could take you over to the Cave and Basin. So thank you so much.
May I please request the Chair of Conference, Dr. Ishfaq Shuaib, to join Dr. Saad, the President of APPNA Alberta Chapter, on stage to present the certificates of appreciation to our youth volunteers. Our youth volunteers for this event are Manal Kamran, Amal Kamran, Hassan Rizwan, Talha Tariq. Next is Abdullah Tariq, Ali Saad, Hania Saad, Sana Aslam, So our opening singer for tonight is Johnny B. He's actually also a composer as well as a songwriter and a musician, based in Calgary. He's joining us tonight for opening up the entertainment part of our program. Thank you.
The legend, Alamgir, is standing right outside. I can't even talk. I'm so excited for his presence. Can we please welcome in here, because it's an honor to perform in his presence.
मेरे डोल जुदाइयां दी गलबात किवें होवे आ जावे दिल तेरा पूरा भी ना होवे आ बणियां बनाइयां दी तैनू खबर किवें होवे आ जावे दिल तेरा पूरा भी ना होवे.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम. कि थैंक यू कहना चाहता हूँ कि आप लोगों की दुआओं की वजह से 13 years of dialysis के बाद I finally got my kidney transplant.
माओ की दुआ पूरी हुई और हमें इतनी बड़ी दुनिया में घर मिल गया. अल्लाह का एहसान है, हमारा पाकिस्तान है. हम आन, हम शान, हम इसकी जान हैं. हम पाकिस्तान हैं. शाम और तेरा नाम दोनों कितने मिलते जुलते हैं. तेरा नाम नहीं लूंगा, नहीं लूंगा, बस तुझको शाम कहूँगा. ये शाम और तेरा नाम दोनों कितने मिलते जुलते हैं. तेरा नाम नहीं लूंगा, नहीं लूंगा, बस तुझको शाम कहूँगा. ये शाम और तेरा नाम. हे आहा ओहो, ये झोंका तेरे घर का रास्ता बनेगा. अकेले में तुझसे मिला तो कहेगा, मिला तो कहेगा. देख तेरा क्या रंग कर दिया है, खुशबू का झोंका तेरे संग कर दिया है. देख तेरा क्या रंग कर दिया है, खुशबू का झोंका तेरे संग कर दिया है. देख तेरा क्या